Hi everyone. I'm going to try and document my 125 gallon in action here. I'm not using a very good recorder. It's on my phone actually, so hopefully the focus is okay. Here it is, the full tank, 6 feet long. In general, things I like about it, I like the scape in general. I think it's a work in progress. I still have a lot left to do. I have some open area left there intentionally. I'm not sure what I want to put right in the back of this driftwood right here. I'm looking for something to fill in that area, preferably a red plant. Again, not too sure what. Back there we have a sword plant growing to try and hide some of the pipes. Below that I have some Java fern to basically hide the base of the sword plant. I don't like the empty base of the sword plant, so I put the Java fern down there. On the driftwood itself, driftwood I got from Tom, very happy with it, Tom. I have some Christmas moss actually. I got that, it was pretty much dead, it was all brown. If you look carefully, I'll try and come in here, you can see a lot of brown still on there. I'm cutting it off slowly actually as it grows in. Coming back, pretty resilient. In the back there I have some Rotala. I had that going during my dry start. This was a dry start started in June for about 10 weeks. I flooded this guy about 4 weeks ago now, early September. Just added fish three days ago now. I have some coffeefolia right here, doing very well as well. New growth on that one. There's some new growth on this side as well, coming in very well. At the bottom on the substrate I have some Marsilia quadrifolia. That actually I had, on this side I had it going during my dry start. Didn't do too well actually. I mean, a lot of it lived, a lot of it died too. I'd say about half and half. You can actually, I'm trying to pull some of it out. You can still see some of the dead growth there. So anyways, I'm going to be pulling more of that out. It's coming in. What did live, I think will fill in very well. My path I find too wide. What I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to get some rocks and fill it in to bring it in more narrow with rocks, and I'll put some Anubias nana on it, growing into the middle. So it'll be about half that width going all the way back with some nana on it and maybe other plants as well growing off the rocks. Another driftwood over here, there's a bit of Christmas moss at the tops. On the rock here in front of the driftwood I have phoenix moss. Flame moss on that one. Didn't get very much. I have it on the one rock right here. Eventually when I get more I'll cut it off and bring it to the top rock right here. Again, some more Anubias right there. In the front here I have some Glossa, which I'm not very happy with right now. That I also had going during my dry start, about halfway through my dry start, so about 4 weeks worth of growth. But it died back a lot. The bottom part is all dead or dying. I've cut it back a couple of times now since I've had it, but maybe I might have to be a little bit more aggressive with that one and cut it right down. In any case, if it doesn't grow in very well, I have on this side some more quadrifolia growing in very well. Actually, I'm very happy with it. Starting to creep over. So I'm going to let it creep over and maybe eventually take out the glosso. I'm not quite sure yet. In the back there I have some valves as well. In front of that, some crypts. I have a bit of sage in there as well. That big bunch right there, of course, everybody knows it, Agaridensa. It's in there during the initial startup. I don't think I'm going to keep it in there for good. I just wanted it in there during the initial startup, a good nutrient absorber. Since I have a soil substrate, I want to try and suck up as many nutrients as possible. Some high grow right there. The high grow is doing very well. Hopefully you can see that. I've cut it back a couple of times, replanted it. I'm going to have to cut back a couple more stems, replant them as well. I just want to get it a nice bushy, dense plant about halfway up the tank, so I think I should be able to achieve that, doing fairly well. Behind there again, some more Rotala as well. That was also during the dry start. I'm going to have to cut some of that back as well and replant. that's pretty much the scape. Like I said, I'm very happy with it. I think it's a work in progress. I'm going to add, as I said, I'm going to add a little bit more rocks in the middle here, try and narrow it down. My overflow, I'll talk a little bit more about my overflow. It's a bean animal overflow. The actual overflow portion is 4 feet long, skimming the surface of 4 feet of water in a 6-foot tank. I think I get very good oxygenation from that. My CO2 is extremely high. I don't see any problems with the fish. They're not stressed. They have no problems with the CO2 level. What I like about it, a very small footprint. Right here, I'll try and get a good shot here. It's about 1 inch into the tank. You can see it there. In the back, I'll show you from the other side actually, it's easier to see from the other side. But in the back I have 3 holes. Skimming all the way across here. You see the 3 holes there, 1, 2, 3. They're in the back, inside the overflow, and in the back of the tank I have an external overflow. The one here, the drain you're looking at here is my main overflow. That one's probably supplying easily 1,400 gallons per hour, if not a little bit more. The middle one is my emergency, above water. It'll only get used if the water level goes too high, if the main should get blocked. Or my secondary. My secondary is barely below water. I wouldn't say there's very much flow going through there either. You can see that little wire mesh up there. That's a bit of gutter guard. I'll show you from up here. Hope there's not too much light. It's a bit of gutter guard actually. It's a glass overflow, so there's no teeth on it. And I was getting a bunch of fish. They like to go down for the ride. They go all the way to the bottom. I was scooping them out on a regular basis. So I added this gutter guard. For those of you who live up north, you know what that is. It's doing the job. I mean, I have on this side it might be open more than what it should be, but I still get the odd fish. You can see one in there now. There you go, right in the middle. He got in. Eventually he'll go down the tube. I'll scoop him out. I think I even have one down there right now. These are my returns for my sump. I have way too much flow on this side of the tank. You can see, especially down here, anyway, I have about 1,400 gallons on this side of the tank compared to about 400 gallons per hour on the other side. So I'm going to take the largest one, the 1800, the flow from the 1800, and split it up into 2 half-inch pipes, one on each side. I'm going to go to the back here and show you the actual overflow. Move back here, sorry. Let me try and get a better angle here. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, now you can see that's the actual. For some reason I zoomed in here. Okay, there, better. You can see that's my main return. You can kind of see the 3 holes. The flow coming in, the amount of flow in there. I still have actually a diatom algae problem there. I haven't changed anything to prevent it. I'm hoping it's just a cycling issue. Correct me if I'm wrong, please. I have some autos in there. They're taking care of the majority of the diatoms. There are quite a few of them right there, actually, altogether. Most of the leaves, actually, most of the Anubias leaves are completely covered, and they've done a pretty good job, actually, cleaning them in the 3 days that they've been in there. This plant here, you could barely see the leaves at one point. I was rubbing them every day, and I put the autos in there on Friday night. Saturday morning, they were nice and green. So that's the tank in general. I'll show you you saw the overflow, as I mentioned, the 4-foot skimming over there. It goes down into the sump. It's a 27-gallon sump. I'll show you down here. The pipe on the right is my main drain. In the middle is my emergency. The one on the left is the secondary drain, which hardly has any flow at all. You can see them down there. I have some ceramic media in that bag there. It's from a filter that I had running for about 5 weeks. If not a little bit more, in another tank, and I threw it in there. Right here, let me turn on the light here. So I have the flow comes down through there, up, down, through here. Those are all lava rocks in there. I don't know how many pounds, probably about 20 pounds of lava rocks in there. None of them are bigger than a golf ball, all in that chamber. Comes back down in here, where I have my two pumps, my 1800 and my 9.5. 9.5 has a needle wheel in it for the CO2. That's one thing I'm not very happy with. The CO2 is way too much bubbles in the tank. I'm going to have to correct that. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to try what Jerry had done in his overflow video he did. He put a Rio with a needle wheel in his tank, in his overflow, and he's diffusing it directly in the sump. I'll probably do that, give that a shot, and see what kind of CO2 levels I get. And that's it. Another problem I'm having is heat. I think that's coming from my two pumps as well. My tank is very warm. It's above 80 degrees right now, probably 81, 82 right now. And it's winter here. Well, winter, I should say fall. So we're getting temperatures in the 55s, probably 50, 55s right now. So I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the summertime next year. Probably be much warmer. So I'm going to have to correct that somehow. I'll work on that over the winter. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching.